there it is. The prices have absolutely tanked after losing their pretty much last key levels of support. Bitcoin down to 23.6, Ethereum down to 1200, which is very, very significant, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a completely separate video, so make sure you're hitting that like button and subscribing to this YouTube channel so you don't miss that stuff. But what I want to talk to you about right now is what's going on with Bitcoin and give you guys some insights if you're worried about what you're seeing right now, or if you're not and you're managing to stay calm, then good on you. Really, really good stuff. If you're able to stay calm at a time like this, you're definitely going to be one of the people that will be slaying these markets. This is going to be a little bit of live analysis because this is all happening pretty much right as I speak, so it's not going to be as fluid as most of my videos, but hopefully it's not going to be a problem for you guys. And and the key thing that I want you guys to just focus on for the minute is, obviously we were in an area of quite low volatility for some time. The price pretty much didn't do anything for, a month. And so, when we leave those kind of areas of low volatility, we tend to, really speed up the trend temporarily. It doesn't necessarily go on for a long time. The last time something like this happened, we were only aggressively trending for a week. So far, I think it's fair to say that we've already reached 6 days. Now, does that mean we're going to stop at 7? No, absolutely not. We've had the worst open to the week of trading that I can imagine. Obviously, this weekly candle just completely shit the fucking bed. And, let's see this price level. This weekly candle right here, closing at 26.6. This is horrible. This is bad as far as, weekly candle performance goes. And we're on a Monday, and it's already, we've already pretty much dropped by the same amount as last week's trading, right? So, obviously, this is going to be scaring a lot of people. We haven't quite seen the Fear and Greed Index update yet. It did update about 12 hours ago, but it's gotten way worse in the last 12 hours. So I think we're going to start seeing some very, very low readings. Exactly 30 days ago, we had a reading of 9, which is extremely low. And we've been staying low for a long time, ladies and gents. Look at this. It's rock bottom for a very, very long time. Zoom out onto the 3 months, and it's been like this for a very, very long time, ladies and gents. I just want to make sure that we're aware of that, because this kind of thing isn't sustainable. Even if the price is dropping massively like this, this is something that's really, really important, which everyone's going to be losing sight of right now. My job here is going to be to remind you guys where these support levels are, because we were looking at these support levels from when Bitcoin was all the way up here, in the $40,000 and $50,000 areas. We were still talking about these ranges, and I just want to remind you guys that I'm still sticking to that analysis, and there's no reason not to. The fact that we're in it right now doesn't suddenly mean that every support level that we knew about already doesn't matter for some reason. That's not the case. We very much are still in a position where, we're still able to enjoy all of the support. And so let's switch tones a little bit and talk about that. Let's talk about the support ranges that we have available to us now, just to refresh us on what we're dealing with. So looking at this chart right here on the daily time frame, we only really have 2 ranges between $20,000 and $30,000, and we're in the final one right now. This is the area of resistance that Bitcoin established on the way up, between $22,000 and $24,000. This is a 7-day, basically, consolidation range that Bitcoin entered when it was trending higher. Those of you who are in VIP are going to remember how much we slayed the markets back then. On this rip up, I made one of the biggest profits of my life because I was trading that move on leverage. We've actually been doing very, very well in this market. A lot of people have completely gotten fucked on altcoins at the moment. Obviously, Bitcoin and so on dropping down massively, but the altcoin market is where the real carnage is happening. Just take a look at this. The Bitcoin dominance now shooting up to 47%. These are quite high readings compared to where they were just recently. This is to see the dominance rise up like this within, it's not actually that much of it's not that big of a time period. This is basically just over 2 months. The Bitcoin dominance has gone from, about 41% to 47. That's a lot of losses for the altcoin market. And again, we can see that if we look at, for example, the 7-day change. You know, Bitcoin down by 24, but Ethereum nearly down by 40. You know, and everything else just generally falling by more. Solana down by 40 as well. I mean, this is huge losses. You know, that we're seeing across the board. I don't know how the fuck Shiba's still in the top 20, but Shiba's there as well. You know, what we're going to be seeing in the market right now is all of these ridiculous, stupid ideas just kind of getting washed out and dying out, you know, because the thing about coins like Shiba, the thing about most of these coins actually, and I've had no shame in saying this to you guys in the past while the market was up, and I'm here to say it again now that the market is down, because the facts don't change. You know, these projects don't deserve to have, you know, all the market cap and so on that they're actually sitting at, especially coins like Shiba. Like, this one's just an obvious, you know, this one's just very obvious that it shouldn't be this high. But people will believe the bullshit if they think it will make them money. I mean, it is literally as clear cut as being deluded gets. Like, that is clear delusion. It's just being a fucking idiot, to be quite honest with you guys, and this kind of sentiment gets washed out of the market at times like this. So I just want you guys to be aware of that before we continue with the analysis. Let's get back to the support, though. This is the most important thing. We'll talk about the other stuff later. By the way, I'm going to be doing a live stream on these markets again, hopefully later today. Most likely it's going to happen. So if you want to be able to catch that, again, make sure you're hitting up that like button and staying subscribed to this YouTube channel. Once more, if you want to join 𝗬𝗢𝗙𝗚𝗓 VIP, see what's going on behind the scenes, this is where it's all going down. You know, like I said, I was able to scale out of all of my altcoin positions, or I should not all, but my biggest ones, which were in Ethereum, you know, way before this disaster happened. Many VIP members didn't have that exposure either. You know, I did take the L on Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin right around over here. Obviously, now I'm sitting underwater on that, but that's totally fine with me because I'm going to be holding Bitcoin for many years to come, and I obviously I don't know the future, but I'm very certain that we're going to be recovering back above our current price levels and even beyond $69,000. I know that might sound hard to believe right now, but I've lived through many of these cycles with Bitcoin, and this one's bad though. This one is definitely bad in terms of intensity, but that doesn't mean it's not going to recover. You know, it's just how markets move sometimes. So anyway, let's get back to the analysis here. You know, this 22 to 24k area is not strong support as far as I'm concerned, because you know, we only traded here for 7 days. So, you know, I don't want to be holding my breath expecting this support level to actually hold. I just think that would be foolish. But if we look at the low that we've hit so far in the OHLC, the low of our current candle on the daily is 23,500. So we're basically just there right now at the low of the day. If this thing slips below 22, there is no more support until we reach 20. So the only thing that can possibly happen in the market is people trying to front run the market before we get to 20, filling in long orders, for example, at 21. Because I think it's fair to say that even though things look really scary right now, a lot of people are going to be interested in buying Bitcoin here. You know, what I want you guys to consider, and it might be hard to consider this right now because, you know, of where you are in the market, but again, we need to be able to separate, you know, facts, reality from how we feel. And you know, the bottom line here, ladies and gents, is that there's a lot of people that were on the sidelines, you know, throughout a lot of this rally that are interested in Bitcoin. Perhaps not very interested, perhaps slightly interested, but something. And you know, when they start seeing the prices dropping down to 20k, and everyone knows this was the previous all-time high, I think it's very fair to say that we're going to see a good amount of buying pressure stepping into the market, you know, potentially able to let us swing up. And I mean, that swing is quite extreme. It could just be a few $1,000s or whatever, but bottom line, I think there are going to... I think because there's going to be a lot of sentiment like that, you know, people are going to try and step in a little bit faster, a little bit earlier than the actual 20k level. We could overshoot it too. You know, I'm not going to rule that out, but I just don't think that's likely right now. You know, one of the key things, one of the key traits of this, you know, market cycle has been absolutely no bloody relief. I mean, it's quite shocking to see it, to be quite honest with you guys. Pretty much since this week starting 28th of March this year, I mean, we had this candle right here. This was the only, candle that didn't close red. And it was still a bearish candle. I mean, that's what we call a bearish hammer. And so we're now, 77 days in with no real relief, and we're due for one. We are due for some sort of relief. If we take a look at the week that we set our all-time high and then dropped down, that was 77 days of essentially trending down until we ended up pulling a 63-day rally to the upside. So, if we're able to do something like that, I think, that could end up putting us at some, quite important levels that, we should be paying attention to. So that's what I'm seeing right there in terms of, potentially finding some relief. I know that everyone's very frustrated that we haven't gotten it yet. That's fine. That's totally normal. That's kind of what markets do. They're going to frustrate you. They're going to dry you out, especially at times like this. If you're able to hold steady during these very, very rocky waves, you're going to be fine. That's generally what I've found in my experience. I mean, I actually, to be fair, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to give you a false sense of hope or something like that. But from my perspective, having gone through this exact thing multiple times before, I've got no worries about what we're seeing right now. It's just very, very extreme price action to the downside, and it always comes back. It has to. It's just the nature of these markets. You can't keep moving down in a straight line forever. You need to have relief rallies, and this actually ties into the altcoin market a little bit. Obviously I'm not in altcoins anymore, and I scaled out of them a very long time ago, way before this whole disaster happened. But if I was still in them, the bad news here is that, we look at something like Cardano, and there's no floor in sight for coins like this. There's no floor in sight, and this applies very much to Cardano the same way it does to coins like Solana. You guys remember my analysis on Solana before we dropped down in this range, where I was warning about the $45 level, or potentially even the $22 level. We're very, very close to the $22 level right now for Solana. It's poetic how this ends up happening. The thing is before it happens, nobody believes it will, and you don't want to listen to voices of reason that warn against, just protecting your capital because you believe all the bullshit, because you've just completely bought into it. Ladies and gents, if that's you, that's fine. Yes, I know you're sitting on a fucking pile of burning cash right now. That's not okay. That's not nice. But the fact that you've made this mistake is actually pretty normal. I've made these kind of mistakes before. Many, many other people have that have been able to pull through it. The key thing here right now is that you never make these mistakes again. The key problem, ladies and gents, and we explore this in VIP. We fix these problems in VIP. We've been able to do it for many people. For many other people, we haven't been able to do it, because if you're a fucking gambler, you're not going to do anything if you join my service either. You're still going to be pulling horrible results. But if you've got it in you and you're able to go through what we're giving you, we've been able to turn people around that are in positions like this. The key thing is, if you're making mistakes and like this, like being overexposed in the altcoin market, which is just far more risky than Bitcoin, even when you perhaps shouldn't be, that is something which is going to cost you money. And if it costs you money, it's going to cost you time. Because the problem here, and this is what I was saying in yesterday's video, is that the way these markets work, the way trading works, like in real terms, like cutting out all the bullshit, like in real terms, the way trading works is that you get nice, generally, steady ascents to the upside with big crashes down, and then you keep building up and up and up. And so if you've seen these big crashes down, there is no way to shortcut yourself back up to break even. You can probably pull it off if you take crazy unnecessary risks, but you're still being a bad trader if you're doing stuff like that, right? Like, you're still opening yourself up to so much potentially unnecessary risk that you just can't really get around it. Now, the job of a trader like me, and what we try to teach in VIP, and what you'll see happening in real time, is that I'm fully acknowledging that my trajectory is going to look like this. It's not going to be like this. But I just want to jack it up as much as possible, as safely as possible. That is my intention, and you're watching me put each foot forward in the market right here inside of 𝗧𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗧 VIP. It's all going down right here. We've been very, very active in there, and if you want to, I actually just put in a voice note last night as I was seeing this market crash, just kind of reminding VIP members about some key things and updating them on my game plan as well for this market. There's a lot going on right there, and the way for you to join is by clicking on the first link in the description down below, then on the @4flies button, and then send message to ask me how to join 𝗧𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗧 VIP, and we'll give you all of that information right away. If I don't respond to you, this is a direct chat with me. If I don't respond to you, one of my assistants will, and we'll get you in very, very shortly. And obviously, because we priced it in Bitcoin, you're getting quite a discount right now, which is also going to be useful at a time like this. 22k, like I said, being that final frontier before 20. I guess the thing that I want you guys to be aware of is that, when the markets do reach, kind of extreme levels of fear, we get what's called capitulation, right? And this is actually what I would call a capitulation candle, which is essentially where, things just get very, very intense. Everybody is giving up at the same time. It's just sick and horrid and death and nothing nice everywhere. That's what capitulation looks like. That's what it feels like. And what it looks like in terms of daily candles is just big drops, big drops on the daily time frame, on the weekly time frame. This is a great example because, we're only hours into Monday. We're 11, 12 hours into this, Monday weekly open right here, and it's already a huge candle, right? So that kind of looks like capitulation, and that can just drive things way, way lower. But again, what we're looking for at times like this is to see where the longs and shorts are and so on. And by the way, look at this chart, like exactly illustrating what we've been talking about. Obviously, this chart shows $15,000, and I don't necessarily think we're going to get down that low. But, the whole point is we didn't have support in this range, so we cannot be surprised by this drop. That we've been talking about this for a very, very long time. If you've been tuning in and you've been aware of what we've been talking about there, do me a favor and just smash up the likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't done so already, because this is the most grounded, realistic analysis that you're going to find on YouTube, and I do pride myself on that. What I just want to take a quick look at is the long and short ratio for Bitcoin, and see if this has finally started to dip. Yeah, still a lot of longs. Obviously, this time period is wrong, but for the first time, we're seeing a real shift where there's more people going short than long. But it's not great. Bybit, to be fair, Bybit is at 51.3% short, so that's pretty. I haven't seen Bybit, this much short for quite some time. Binance is obviously the other important one, which is pretty much nearly even. We want to see these swings looking a little bit more extreme, like CoinEx right here. I've never heard of CoinEx, don't know anything about them, but, we want to start seeing numbers like this in terms of longs and shorts. So, that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. We still haven't quite got it. We really, the average person, you, me, your fucking friend, your grandma, needs to start thinking that this market will not recover. Needs to start thinking that it's game over and and it's done. And one of the things that can do that is if we start kind of ranging, somewhere like here for a while, for a couple of weeks, couple of months, something like that. It's going to give us so many great trading opportunities because we've already been in these price ranges before. And I'll tell you why in just a sec, why this would be so good. It's actually quite exciting for me as a trader, as somebody that actually makes short-term trades in the market. This is very, very exciting. But the thing is we do need to see that sentiment really, really shift. Obviously, on the Fear and Greed Index, it's been fucking rock bottom for a long, long time. But perhaps we need to get even lower. Perhaps we need to sustain, fear and greed levels below 10 for a little bit of time, which, for me, yeah, that would be the first time I've ever seen this, and that would be the first time we've ever done this as well, actually. But, the thing is when we get these extreme moves to the downside, ladies and gents, I just want you guys to remember these things. When we get these extreme moves to the downside, they can't keep going on forever, and they every single time in the past have resulted in big rallies to the upside. you know, because we're so fucking extreme that we end up rubber banding and just doing ridiculous things afterwards. It might not happen now. It might not happen in the next few weeks or months, maybe not even this year, but you guys know my take on this, right? The thing is that the actual state of the market can change so quickly. It can change so quickly. I mean, all it takes for this market to start looking very bullish again is rising above this prior swing high right here at 32. Why did I choose this level in particular? Well, because if we look at what we've got on this chart, this is the most recent high that the market established. Or I guess you could say it's this right here, but I'm going to count basically 32.5 as that key level. If we manage to get above this level, we're no longer setting a pattern of lower highs. We're no longer going to be in a downtrend. Technically, literally, whatever, we're not going to be in a downtrend anymore. That's going to make people excited. Again, like, we reclaimed this high and we're off to all-time highs as far as I'm concerned. You know, I mean, the thing is it only takes one fat-fingered buy order to send the market in a very, very bullish direction, clear some key levels, excitement comes back in the market, starts hitting the headlines, and then you just start fucking, you know, just rocket ship blowing up. You know, that's how Bitcoin moves. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, ladies and gents. Like that's exactly how Bitcoin behaves, and it can really come out of nowhere. You know, and that's why, as a trader, our jobs here are to always be prepared for these kind of things. You know, like, yes, the market is red right now and it's scary and we don't like it. Cool. Shut the fuck up and stay focused. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is actually all it comes down to. Like, this is where you got to really get real with yourself, toughen up, and if you can't toughen up, well, you shouldn't have been here. You know, you shouldn't have been here before this crash happened. You shouldn't have been here when the market was bullish. You know, you clearly can't handle it, and you know, I don't think there's any point in continuing. You know, it could get a lot worse, and if you can't stomach that, fuck, like, I mean, you shouldn't be in Bitcoin. You shouldn't be trading in general. It's just not for you. This is not an easy game. You know, like, you need a good level of mental strength to get through this kind of thing. You know, and if you don't have it, that's going to cost you a lot. You know, it's going to be very, very harmful. Ladies and gents, at a time like this, it's critical to have a reliable exchange that you can use to interact with the market. You're doing a lot of thinking, and if you're not using the best tools to complement that thinking, you're going to be in trouble. I've chosen Bybit years ago, and I'm still with them now. If you want to check them out, you're going to be getting a very nice deposit bonus when you sign up using my link down below in the description. I don't know how much it is. It's either something like $800 or thousands of dollars. But in any case, it's a lot of money when you sign up using my link in the description down below and make your first deposit. They are running the World Series of Trading competition right now as well. I don't really engage in stuff like that, but you guys can check that out because there are up to $8 million in rewards on Bybit if you engage in that kind of stuff as well. So again, you can check it out by signing up to my link in the description down below and making your first deposit. This is the best exchange to be on, in my opinion. I do work with them, and I've been working with them for years, but I already had this opinion before I was ever working with them in the past. I just, you know, I do really like the exchange. And of course, at times like this, you know, one of the things that VIP members are able to enjoy is just getting a read on the stability that I'm feeling, that my team is feeling as traders in market cycles like this right now. You know, this is going to be very scary and unsettling for a lot of people, and to be able to listen to what, you know, others would call perhaps a voice of reason can actually be very, very useful. It can prevent people from losing money. It can enable people to make money as well. We've seen very, very good results from members at times like this. This is where we thrive. This is exactly where it all happens. So if you want to be able to jump inside and see exactly what's going on, then these are the steps on screen. Like I said, Ethereum video coming up very soon. Celsius also coming up very soon. If you guys want to hear me talking about Celsius for a little bit, this is against the euro. I don't know why I'm looking at the Celsius euro chart, but Celsius has completely dropped off a cliff. I'm just trying to find the this is probably, is this a good chart? I don't think this is a good chart to use. Let's just go in CoinMarketCap. You know, they're basically, yeah, I mean, if you know anything about Celsius, you're gonna know. I mean, it's 52% down today, like today, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. But it's actually quite shocking. If you look at the market cap, this market used to be worth This is exactly my point, ladies and gents. Like, the fact that, like, even Shiba is still in the top 20, for example, shows us that we need to wash out this stupidity. It just can't keep going this way. It's not sustainable. That's why we get crashes like this, is because of the dumb motherfuckers that engage in shit like NFTs and shit coins like Shiba. Like, and they just don't know what they're doing, but they rush into whatever can make them money. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but if you've been watching this channel over the past year, you're going to know that I'm not saying anything different. Like, what I'm saying today perhaps is a little bit more harsh just because, you know, we're more emotionally charged today in the market, but I'm not saying any different things to what I was saying when the market was bullish. The facts have been the same the whole time. It's just that reality is catching up now. $1.85 billion market cap. Huge, huge market. I mean, where is Ford? I'm just curious. Ford market cap. Just to put this in perspective, Ford, the motor company, worth $51 billion. So you're telling me that, you know, this coin right here would have been worth, I don't know, 4%, I think, of Ford, the company's overall you know, valuation. It's huge. It's absolutely ridiculous. But you look at the market cap now, it's at 45 million. I mean, I don't even know what that percentage drop is. It's more than a 90% drop, obviously. I mean, it's absolutely enormous. Like, it's wiped out. It's wiped out, ladies and gents. And actually, we can calculate this. If you bought, you know, one token at $8, you'd now have 18 cents. So, yeah, I mean, you know, 90% loss would be 80 cents. This is far beyond that. This is more than a 95% loss. This is a wipeout. This is a total wipeout. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about this. Obviously, this is moving very similar to how Luna was moving. Obviously, this is the new Luna that's at $2, but the first Luna, the original one, which they're now calling Terra Classic, you know, also completely wiped off the face of Earth, really. I mean, yeah, just absolutely wiped off the planet. And shit, like, really, you think these two are gonna be the last? Like, they might be the last. The worst of it might be over, but let's be honest. Come on, get real. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, I don't even wanna. I'm not gonna pick names because I don't know enough about these altcoins, but I don't think they're gonna be the last. And obviously, you know, that means there's a lot of great content to come. Ethereum is super important. I need to talk to you guys about this. This chart right here has very strong implications for what might happen to Bitcoin, and it's not positive stuff, but I need to talk about it. You need to hear it. And obviously I'll keep, you know, every time I talk about these things, I'll tell you what I'm thinking too, you know, which is that even though we're getting all of these negative signs, I'm a guy that, like, I like to read the psychology of the market, and right now it's so weak. It's so weak and fragile that, yes, perhaps in terms of price, we could see big drops. We could see big drops from here, from now, but in terms of time, I've got to think that we're at the end of that tunnel already. You know, like, there's just not much left in terms of time pressure that the market can apply on us until we get some sort of real relief. You know, a big reaction candle or a nice sustained rally. Something like that has got to come eventually. And we are approaching, well, Ethereum isn't, but Bitcoin is approaching its best chance at establishing a rally like that off the $20,000 level. So lots to go through. That Ethereum video, the Celsius video, and my live stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of them today, but I'm going to do my best to do as many of them today, especially the live stream. So if you want to be able to catch this content, again, make sure that you're hitting that like button and that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. And obviously, if you don't have the bell ticked by now, that's not going to serve you well, because this content is very time sensitive. You need to be able to watch it when it's published. And if you haven't got the bell ticked, you're not going to get notified about these videos. Of course, you can also get notified about these videos by joining the free 4Flies Gold channel with the first link in the description down below. And over there, we will update you on when I publish videos as well. So you get not only my analysis pinged straight to your phone, my insights on trades pinged straight to your phone for free, by the way, but you also get updated on my videos, my live streams, the countdowns to them. And if you want to join VIP from there, then you can click on my name at the bottom of any post inside this first link. and then click on send message from there to ask me how to join. Again, this is a direct chat with me. You can ask me all the questions you've got and so on. And if I don't respond to you, one of my assistants will as well. So there you go. Hope you have enjoyed this video. You know what to do if you have, and I'll see you all very shortly later today.